Many people want to tell their boss they hate them, they don't like them, or do things to them to harm them because of how they have been mistreated. I was one of those people as well. And honestly, I did not feel anything about it, to be honest, until this recent incident with the killing of the CEO, United Healthcare. And it just came to my thoughts today, just today, after discussing it with my older sister yesterday, the number of people who are applauding the killing of this person. And I understand some of the thoughts behind it, though I don't agree with the actual killing, but it made me think about my own way of living and my own interactions with people. And in my book, I Ate the Cake, A Journey for Justice. And I'm going to read from the book this day about what I encountered with one of my supervisors who, yes, they were harassing me. And for almost 4 years, I went through a lot of mental exhaustion from their behaviors. And to be honest, in my mind, what I said to them was justified. And I'm going to start on page 43 of I Ate the Cake, A Journey for Justice, a book that I published back in October of 2020. It says, the conversation took a turn for the worse when Kelly played the broken record. Twirling a pen between her fingers, she leaned as with authority and quipped, Darlene, I know you have great relationships with the staff. Everyone likes you. You all have fun together. But you have got to learn how to have good relationships with the students. Kelly tried to convey empathy. She continued, you have a counseling degree, so I'm sure you can do it. I know you don't like the school. Let me stop you, I interrupted. With calm and firmness, I continued. I like the school. I live 5 minutes from here in good traffic. I like the school. I like the staff. I don't like you. I don't trust you. I don't like Elise. I don't trust Elise. And you can go tell her that. My plan of not responding to accusations became a memory. In this particular meeting, I was with my two assistant principals, whom the principal would often get to have meetings with me and just say false things to me and just to harass me. And I put all of that in the book. But until today, I really did justify it that I had a right to tell you that I didn't like you because of all the things that you did to me. Now, as I was writing the book, I also talked about the things that happened after that particular meeting. And on page 54, I wrote towards the end of the paragraph, of course, you probably should not tell your supervisors you dislike or distrust them and not expect repercussions. Some days I truly felt sorry for Kelly, whom Elise influenced to execute what she did not dare to do. Other days I did not understand how the fear of losing a job outweighed the respect of God's judgment. Friendships should not be used to mistreat another person. Elise tapped into the assistant's weaknesses, end quote. Now, I'm not one to tell someone to do what should not be done. I'm not one, even if I'm going through a hard and difficult time, I'm not going to make someone feel like they should do the wrong thing. That's just who I am. But I give myself sometimes the liberty of, when I make the mistake of making the wrong judgments. And until this particular moment, I am realizing that this is not what you want to do, not because of the repercussions, but because of your values as a person and treating people with human kindness. At no time is it ever the right thing to do to be cruel. At no time is it ever the right thing to do to be cruel. When I look back at the number of people, again, applauding this man being killed without really knowing all of the facts, and even if, but honestly, if you know all the facts, it still does not justify him being killed. because he was not, he didn't pull a gun on anyone else. My boss didn't deserve, maybe, well, can I say she deserved me saying, I don't like you? No. People are already struggling with who they are. And when people can do whatever and anything to other people, it says about their heart conditions, what is really going on with them. And to live with yourself, not caring about other people, has to be surmountable. I mean, I don't know how you lay asleep or how you navigate life knowing that you are operating in such cruelty and wickedness. As for myself, I don't want to be a person who ever justifies mistreating someone based on how they have treated me. Now, this is not saying that I'm going to be passive, that I'm not going to have a stand up for myself and to be assertive. But what I have learned, and I'm still learning, that there are ways to be assertive. There are ways to remain within your values and not allow people to make you their walking mat. This is the reason why I began to produce the podcast, Extending Grace podcast, to help others with our emotions. Because our emotions, how we treat one another, will make us or break us. And we can never succumb to the idea that because you did X, Y, and Z, that's why I am going to do anything that's a cruel behavior. Telling someone, and I'm going to admit this, telling someone that you do not like them is never the right thing to do. If I had control or had managed my emotions better, then I would more than likely have said, the actions towards me I do not like. But to rip someone apart and demean them as less than what God has created them to be is never the right decision. Listen now to Extending Grace podcast on recovering from workplace abuse. It details all the things that I did to recover from what I went through in my memoir, I Ate the Cake, A Journey for Justice. I am now in the second season of the podcast where we are learning how to fight, but fighting in the will of God from a righteous perspective. This is Darlene Amos-McElroy, the host of Extending Grace podcast. Leave your questions or comments. They are always welcome.